Dan loses again, and we got to see Wrath in the show. I am Haru Ren. Welcome to my review of episode 6 of Evolutions. So spoiler warning, if you haven't seen this episode yet, go back and watch it now. But if you have, sit back, relax, and enjoy my review of Evolutions episode 6.
The first part is Lia and Athena. Athena is fighting Chad and appears to have mastered speed mode, and Chad seems to have as well. Warrior Whale's speed mode though is not any different than the regular form. Even though they don't show how Athena managed to get stronger while the Awesome Brawlers were away, this is still a pretty effective way of just telling us Athena and everyone else mastered it. They stayed at the academy the whole time. I doubt there was any kind of interesting, huge, brave adventure they went on to master it. It turns out that while the Awesome Brawlers went back to Studio D to fool around with Kubo last episode, Athena mastered Evolutions and has taught it to the rest of the Academy at the behest of Faustus. Athena offers to teach the Awesome Brawlers, but Dan, in his jealousy, refuses and tries to teach them himself.
Drago and we were the first to master speed mode. We'll teach the Awesome Brawlers.
No, Dan, you were the first to get speed mode. There's a difference. So Dan training the Awesome Brawlers isn't actually going so well. He keeps getting the opposite of what he actually wants, so Lia asks Athena to train her instead. I really like how they are establishing the relationship that Athena has with the Awesome Brawlers very slowly, and I really like the chemistry that Athena and Lia has in this episode because they show that Lia and Athena have a common motivation for wanting to get better. Stacy DePaz, Janice Hawk, Margarita Valderrama, and Emily Stranges actually have great interactive chemistry between them in their performances. Lia and Pegatrix also mentioned how Jean learned Elemental Evolution last episode, so that's a plot line there. This is a story arc that has been building up since the debut because it seems like Lia is the only one that has been trying to be Athena's friend. After training for a while, Lia actually manages to get strength mode. The toy mold does not show up here. They don't use the Neo Pegatrix toy mold for some reason. But Dan and the Awesome Brawlers find Lia training with Athena, and he angrily confronts them. Dan's behavior, tone, and the fact that he's willing to treat Lia and the Awesome Brawlers like gambling chips really makes him come off as the villain of this episode.
Baku battle me, Athena! The winner gets to be Lia's teacher!
He's clearly not mastered Evolution, and yet he thinks he's qualified to teach the Awesome Brawlers Evolution. And when Athena actually offers to help everyone, Dan doesn't even let them. Dan is not at all concerned about helping the Awesome Brawlers get better. He's now concerned about feeding his own ego. You'll notice this not just in the dialogue, but also Jonah Weinberg's delivery. It's very aggressive and comes off as very controlling.
Now I find you training with Athena?
I can help you if you want.
Really? There's no way. Why not, Dan?
Being stubborn for no good reason is so childish. You're a joke.
Damn, Athena just constantly burning Dan with straight fire. So the battle gets started, and where'd Magnus come from? And it's still the same basic formula for the battles they've been doing. Though they both summon Nanogon instead of evolving and have the Nanogons just kamikaze each other. Turns out Athena seems to be holding back against Dan so that they can both evolve at the same time to show the difference between their strengths. And I like how they cut back to the Awesome Brawlers constantly to show their expressions during the fight. I mean, they look like they don't even want Dan to win. And I mean, why would they want Dan to win? He's the one in the wrong here. Once again, Dan botches it and gets the opposite of what he wanted, where Athena straight up murders Drago with one shot. Since Dan lost, he can't interfere with Athena training everyone, and he leaves very angry.
You got what you deserve by playing stupid games. You're a real joke.
Emotional damage!
So this is what I actually like about this. Dan and Athena have essentially switched roles. Now Dan is the obsessed one while Athena is level-headed. It's actually well justified that Dan lost here. He wasn't fighting to help his friends, he was fighting for very selfish reasons. This is actually a very good character arc that they're doing for Dan in this season. He's seeing everyone else being ahead of him, and now he's becoming power hungry. And I know this seems very similar to the arc he went through in the first season where he couldn't get Drago to evolve, but I think they changed it up very well here. In Battle Planet, Dan was jealous he couldn't evolve, and his initial reaction was to give up and leave to avoid resentment and also to avoid holding the Awesome Brawlers back.
Only one who can't get his Bakugan to evolve. I'm just holding you all back. If I stay with you guys, I'll only start resenting you. And I don't want that.
Here in Evolutions, when he can't get Drago to evolve like he wants him to, he becomes stubborn and tries to stop his friends from mastering Evolution before him, essentially holding them back.
What about the rest of you? I can help you if you want.
There's no way. Why not, Dan? Baku battle me, Athena! The winner gets to be Lia's teacher!
That's not your decision! Fine.
And this might be the elemental energy circulating the environment, but this slow dark turn for Dan will probably lead to a massive blowout. Dan in the first season wanted to quit, but now Dan in this season has become power obsessive. This can actually be a great arc for this character if they do it right. Got to admit, this was actually a very good and engaging part to start on. The next part is field training. Lia is joining the Elemental Brawlers on a mission to stop an elemental rage-induced Bakugan.
We'll be sending a limited number of students.
Looks like you're sending even more than what you usually send though. I see the regular team going, but I also see that you added China Riot, Chad, and now even Lia. I think you and I have different definitions on the word limited. Dan and the Awesome Brawlers are wondering why they aren't allowed to go, and it's because only the ones that have mastered both strength and speed are going. The reason why Lia is going is to get field experience at Athena's request. I'm not going to even begin to explain why that is such a bad idea.
The elemental energy has disabled ship 2 and 3.
We won't take any chances. Withdraw to a safe location.
Well, that's a way to just write off excessive characters. Why did they come along again? So they find the Bakugan Chaos Gorilla, which doesn't have a real-life toy. Athena and Lia battle it, but the energy is corrupting its brawler. In a way that makes it look like the kid is having a major stomach ache. Dan and the other Awesome Brawlers arrive and are pretty much useless here. So the energy is raised way too hard and Marlo Fausta steps in to take over the fight. We actually get to see Chaos Wrath. This is basically just showing off Marlo and Wrath's power, which is pretty much the basis of this episode. I gotta say, Wrath's toy designs look cool, but his monster form and base form looks generic. The only one that looks good is his strength mode.
Finish them off!
How did he withstand that?
They just recycled the scene from a previous scene.
Hummel 'em all!
I like how Marlo has mastered evolution so hard he can just switch between speed, strength, and nanogun at will. This entire episode, they're practically just establishing how powerful Marlo really is. If he is the main villain this season, this is probably the first time we get a Chaos main for the main villain.
I can't just stand back and watch.
Why? He seems to have this under control. Athena and Lia get elemental cores and Lia manages to get into speed mode, and her speed mode doesn't even use any new mold in real life. It's just the same mold that they've been using ever since. Athena and Lia finish the fight for no actual reason except to show off Lia getting speed mode, and Dan grows more and more frustrated. The way they're building this up, there is probably some huge blow up that happens later. I'm going to be so disappointed if they don't follow up on this. And now the episode ends with the gym teacher chasing Dan, Winton, Ajit, Shun, and Lightning around for disobeying orders. That was pretty anticlimactic.
So that was Evolutions episode 6. Let me know what your rating of the show was in the comments down below.
I actually really enjoyed this episode with the introduction of Wrath, some great performances, decent action, and they are even giving Dan a dark character turn this season. I really like what they are doing for Dan's character here, exploring a part of him that hasn't actually been done before and a polar opposite to a similar story in the past. I'm really intrigued on what they actually do with this and the constant slow build towards it. I am expecting some sort of payoff, and considering this is a 26 episode season, the same as G-Gun Rising, we might not have to wait too long. But this episode got me hooked more onto this underlying narrative, and I'm excited to see where they take it. So this episode gets a Bakutastic.
Thank you for watching this review of Evolutions. Be sure to press the like button and give us a subscribe for more awesome Bakugan content. I've been Haru Ren, and thank God for Rapid Fire. Bye!